What is up, people of the internet? Welcome to another edition of the Flipaforum podcast. My name is Michael.
I'm Omar.
And I'm Samir.
And we are your hosts. And today we have an exciting lineup of news to discuss. Firstly, I'd like to get into, was a lack of good tech and common sense the reason behind the submersible combustion? Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg, the cage match. Could we see it really happen? We'll get into that shortly. Tech giants looking to invest into India. That's a very hot topic right now. We'll definitely get into that as well. And lastly, we will end this podcast off with some fun tech trivia with a little bit of a twist. So stay tuned till the end. And also, if you are new to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button and also press that notification bell to not miss any new content. Alrighty, let's jump right into it. Omar.
Unfortunate set of events that panned out very recently. Obviously, sad news for all those involved and obviously for the greater community. Let's talk about the technology that was being used by OceanGate, the company as a whole, and then we'll come down to the submersible. So OceanGate is not a brand new company. They've been around for a little while. This was not their first dive to the Titanic. They've done this in the past as well. If I were to summarize it for you, Mike, cutting a lot of corners is the best way to put it. They overlooked areas that they shouldn't have. They didn't do their tests as frequently as they should have. And obviously there were independent parties that would come in to evaluate and see if you are ready, if you're seaworthy, if you're worthy to do these expeditions. This company is notorious for saying no. So many occasions in 2018 and then in 2021, there were two independent studies that were to be performed, but their CEO said no. They didn't want anyone looking into how they were doing their business. And obviously, when something like this happens, obviously all of these things come to light. So we'll talk a little bit about the technology used. First and foremost, the hull of this submersible was made out of carbon fiber.
Wow.
You talk about carbon fiber being a very strong material, yes. But we have to put into perspective how deep they were actually going. The average human being can go down to maybe depths of anywhere between 300 and 500 meters. The blue whale, which is the biggest mammal, can go down to maybe 1,600, 1,700 meters. The U.S. Navy has done a lot of drills and exercises at 3,000 feet, 4,000 feet. We're talking past that. We're talking way past that.
Yeah. And when we're talking about the U.S. the U.S. Navy, is this them using the submarines? Or?
They're using proper submarines.
Okay.
Naval submarines, and even then some, and then they would have to undergo a lot of rigorous testing over the years. Now, if I understand, this was the 7th or 8th time that this particular sub was going down. Over time, what happens with carbon fiber is when it's exposed to pressure, and there's a lot of pressure as you go deeper towards the ocean bed, that pressure pulls and pushes against all materials of a submersible, and this is a smaller submersible. It was an experimental submersible. So what happened is, over time, there's a very good chance that some of the materials started to give way. It's very similar to, you look at an air crash investigation, and there are unfortunate incidents where maybe it was just because of a bolt. A bolt came off, or it was loose, or wasn't tightened properly. It's very similar here. Not enough regulation, not enough check and balance. So that's first and foremost. We talk about an implosion. It's a horrific thing to happen, but like the material on the submersible, carbon fiber, that's a giveaway. It should have been titanium or a more I guess a stronger material. Then comes obviously the technology. The technology used was 8 to 10 years behind the industry standard. Starting off with obviously the most popular debate that is online these days. It's the remote control, the controller that they were using.
Yeah, definitely.
And a controller. I have a PlayStation 5 controller here. You hold it. It's got a pretty solid build. I mean, you can try it out as well.
Yeah.
Feels good to hold. Pretty solid piece of hardware there.
Yeah. It just, to me, it seems like it's pretty simple to use, very comfortable to hold in the hands. It's probably easy to teach somebody how to use as well. So
absolutely.
Go on.
So there's no issue with using a controller, a game controller. The issue starts and arises when we're using a controller that's 10 to 12 years old. It's available on Amazon for $30. How up to date was that controller in terms of navigating, in terms of providing, the ping and the latency between, the mothership, etc. The military scientists, it's not uncommon for them to use controllers like this. I mean, you think about like companies like DJI, and they're using their drones, and they also have a controller.
Yeah.
And you've got the military, they're doing their exercises, their tanks, and their drones are also operated with controllers like this. But obviously, their controllers and the controller that we see, it's night and day. And that's what's very, very scary. So its ability to navigate effectively, efficiently through crevasses and, like there's stalactites, stalagmites that we're going through here on the ocean floor. How nimble was it in being able to navigate the submersible in the right direction at the right time, at the right angle, is a big question mark. Then you come to the submersible as a whole. Obviously, I don't know if you saw the video. There was the owner from a few years ago is proudly sharing that there's just one button that locks the submersible, and that's it. There's no way to get out from the inside. Probably it was lacking a lot of sensors that could have indicated that there was pressure, there was mounting pressure, or there was a part of the submersible that was giving way or about to give way, or there could have been a sensor that could have prevented this. Obviously, a lack there of sensors resulted in a sudden catastrophic implosion, which resulted in what we saw. So obviously, lack of sensors is another one. The inability to get out. Let's assume for a second that this submersible had the sensors. They were warned in time. Could they have deployed from the main, the submersible to a floatable device that could have taken them back to shore? Because initial investigation says that this happened at 3,500 feet. That would have probably given them enough chance to say, hey, okay, a sensor's gone off. Something is wrong, guys. We need to get back. Let's deploy measure number 3, which is an inflatable, which will take us back to shore. A lack of technology and the series of events that were overlooked led to this disaster, which obviously is unfortunate. So I think it's just carelessness. If you ask me in one word, it's carelessness and a lack of, policies in place, which led to what happened. What are your thoughts, Mike, Samir?
Well, I'd definitely say it's still an experimental mode. I mean, the fact that they've only done this, 8 times, and they don't have the proper protocols to ensure the proper safety checks are done on time and all that stuff. Now, in terms of the carbon fiber, how does something like this, how do you inspect something like this over time? Like I hear that this, they're like weaves, right? Very thin weaves. And then over time, if you have even a little bit of a gap, the whole thing can explode. Right. So I don't even know if any material like this has ever been used in a situation like this. Obviously, it's very, very risky. The question is, how else do you do it? I mean, they were clearly trying to build something that was very simple, easy to use, something that they can control in a precise way. Knowing the controller, for example, I wanted to bring it back to your point. There's 2 interesting companies out there that actually do use controllers, and not a lot of people know about this. So we have one Obviously, in 2017, the U.S. Navy, as you mentioned, they actually swapped out one of their $40,000 joysticks for a
PS5 controller.
PS5 controller.
Yep.
So actually, it was an Xbox controller.
Oh,
This was not too long ago. I also read this article that stated that a newly created sperm injecting robot used the PS5 controller to fertilize more than a dozen eggs, which resulted in a lot of success. So clearly, there's a lot of companies out there that are using controllers. Now, why do you use a controller? I mean, I'm holding this in my hand right now. I just feel like there's so much precision involved here, right? You can really, get exactly what you want here. Like playing games, for example. I mean, this is such a precise tool, and I can understand the vision that the gentleman had, the CEO of the company of OceanGate, I believe.
Yep.
And I respect his, his risk taking. At the end of the day, you have to start somewhere. But I have a question for you guys. I mean, this is a very daring thing to do, if you ask me. Would you guys have done it?
Samir, you want to take this one first?
I mean, you got to look at the people behind this project. I mean, these people are like billionaires, okay? These people are not just like people that are they have the resources. And the fact that the resources were not used to make sure that this thing was fail-proof is a question that I want to ask. Like, what's going on behind the scenes? I mean, all the stuff that Omar has just said and has stated is, and the technology that was used, it sounds very amateur to me. Yeah. I mean, a project like this, if it were me and if I had the money, I would invest. Especially, I mean, I'm using this to go down to the Titanic, and I'm taking my kid with me, right? I mean, you're talking about, it's a dream. It's a dream you've had for so long. And I would assume that if you have a dream and you want to share it with your family, you want to make sure that it's safe, right? So it's not like we are in an era where, we don't have the technology, we don't have the material, we don't have the testing, we don't have the regulations. All of that is there, but it's totally ignored. Now, is this a case of just pure arrogance? Or was it, or a case of like, just, we don't care. We don't care.
Sorry to cut you off, but you guys have to understand, like, this is not a cheap trip. This was about what, $450,000 per person?
Per person, yeah.
$250,000 per person.
Oh, $250,000. Correction. This is not a cheap trip. Of course, this is a lot of money, and you would assume that they would have the proper protocols set in place. Are there any other alternatives to this, Omar?
So here's my take on this. From the dawn of time, human beings have evolved through curiosity. Mm-hmm. It's our curiosity that has helped us evolve to where we are today. You think about the first time someone took a raft or a boat out on the water, they didn't know like how long it would stay afloat for. There were probably a lot of people that died in the process, but you look at like our like boats and our ships today, and they're magnificent. You can take like a cruise for a month and you won't know you're away from home. So that's the evolution there. You think about the Wright brothers and their quest to get us in the air. Like obviously that was driven from curiosity of being up in the air. Had we not had failure there, it would not have been possible to be where we are and have the safety standards that we do today. So it is inevitable to walk away from something like this. Now I'll get into like the amount of money being spent, but I also want to talk about practicality. How do these things come into play down the road, and how are they beneficial for you and me? Let's talk about, obviously we just talked about like the Wright brothers and how we can now fly across the world like in a matter of a few hours. Let's talk about something like as simple as diapers. Like babies all around the world use them.
Ew.
I know. But did you know like the first time they were invented was actually for astronauts? Going out to
I actually did know that, yes.
Yeah. And obviously a lot of research went into that. A lot of time, effort, energy went into it, because obviously you're in a confined space. It's not easy. And now we're benefiting from it. You think about the brakes in your Formula One cars that were initially introduced to Formula One. a lot of accidents happened. A lot of people got hurt. But now your Mercedes-Benz, your Tesla, your Beamers, they all have ABS brakes. So curiosity is something that has always carried us and will always carry us. Now we're entering an age of AI, for example. We're in the early stages. 10 years later, you and I will be having a very different conversation around AI. So let's come to the cost of what Samir said, like, and what you mentioned. Is it worth spending $250,000 to go down to the bottom of the ocean?
I just want to, I'm sorry.
Sure, please.
I'm sorry. I just want to go back to your point where you're talking about the Wright brothers. You're talking about all these first time inventions where, you have to go through the process, right?
Yep.
But again, we're coming back to negligence here. You know, this was pure negligence.
100%.
The testing has already been done. The groundwork has already been laid. Why did they ignore it? Why did they ignore the technology that was available? Why did they ignore the science? It was just, for me, I mean, all I see is just pure ego here. It's like, I'm a billionaire. I can do whatever I want. I'm going to ignore.
Well, again, we don't have all of the information out there right now. I look at this a little bit differently. I look at, an entrepreneur that started the business and wanted to create something that was completely different than anything else, something that's a little bit out of the future. And, he's charging a lot of money for this type of stuff. And there's going to be a lot of people that might see value in something like this. For example, you live one life and you have this great opportunity to go see the Titanic, which is, legendary, a legendary story behind the boat that sank quite some time ago. There's other people that have aspirations on, climbing the mountain of Everest.
Yep.
Everything is always, very risk taking.
Yep.
But if you see value in something and it's going to be, it might be worth the ride for some people. So if they want to spend $250,000 to potentially die, which they are notified ahead of time, right?
Yeah.
They have to sign some agreements where they're clearly stated that the probability of you dying is fairly high.
Yep.
And it surely is. I mean, the water pressure alone, could you just imagine how much water is above you? I saw this comparison. It's kind of like an elephant stomping on you, but then there's another 200,000 elephants on top stomping on them. It's pretty much the exact same thing. Can you guys imagine that? So, the good part is that if the technology failed because of whatever reason, it was probably a quick death, so nobody probably suffered. But it is what it is at the end of the day. And
yeah, just to close off, I agree with Samir. Like, obviously, we've come a long way. There's no denying that there was a lack of, obviously, measures that were overlooked. But when we talk about like $250,000, well, it's relative, right? For you and I, we're sitting here. I've got my 2 phones. You've probably got 2 phones. Samir's probably got 2 phones.
Yeah.
But if you go to a third world country and you carry 2 phones, they'll look at you and say, hey, how does this person have 2 phones? Why do they need 2 phones? They've just spent $5,000 on 2 phones. Like for them, it's like, it's all about relativity,
absolutely,
right?
100%.
For a lot of people, the $250,000 might be a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But in search of science and research, people have spent way more. The thing is, maybe it's not quite ready for tourism and discovery for tourists just yet. It's more on the scientific side. And obviously there should be regulations in place that are met only after which somebody can go on an expedition like this.
Yeah, there's also a lot of mess around the fact that the Titanic it's located on Canadian land.
Yeah. And
it was an American company that was using it. And, Canada has some fairly decent laws around, diving into that area to go to see the Titanic. And I think there was a lot of misinformation, a lot of confusion on what's actually going on or what's the legality behind this type of stuff. But at the end of the day, we understand that, there's probably going to be another company out there that's going to come out and they're going to build better technology, and we will one day be able to go to see the Titanic. Yeah. And, it's there's a similar story that recently came out. There's I think it's Virgin. Virgin?
Virgin Galactic?
Virgin Galactic, yeah. So they're apparently looking to launch something in the next couple of years where they've built this incredible piece of technology. It's a plane or a jet. I'm not too sure what it is, but they're charging people $450,000. I think that's the number that I originally had in my head.
Yep.
And to go fly around space. Now, I don't know how far into space they're going to go, but I think that's very, very exciting. Yep. But, you have a very reputable company backing something like that up, as opposed to you look at OceanGate, never heard of them before. I didn't even know something like this existed before. But that's that. Would you guys go into space? I think that would be awesome.
Do you know what the waiting list is? Like, you know how long you have to wait to get in line?
Depends how much money you have, I guess.
That's a very good one. But I think as it stands at 450,000, I think the wait is still about 18 months to 2 years just to be able to take that trip. So, I mean, it's crazy. Like the demand obviously is there.
Of course. It'll probably come before the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's keep it moving. Let's talk about Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg. What's this fiasco all about? Now, apparently, Instagram is currently working on a Twitter competitor, which is apparently known as Thread. They're stating that the name is Project 92, but sources have come out saying that it's going to be called Thread. And users of users from the Meta side are saying that they would prefer another company other than Twitter that is actually sanely run. And I'm not too sure what that means, what they're implying, but that's exactly what they're saying. So I actually have an interesting tweet that came out recently by Mario Nawfal, shared on Twitter. Can we bring that up, please? This is where everything stems from. Okay, so we got Mario Nawfal, Meta to release Twitter rival called Threads. Not making this up. Meta, the same company that copied Snapchat, TikTok, Stumble Upon, Foursquare, Be Real, and Clubhouse. I thought there was going to be more after that. That's why I kind of paused. Began coding Project 92 3 months after Elon acquired Twitter. Rumors have been circulating about the app's public name being Threads. Meta's chief product officer, Chris Cox, described Project 92 as our response to Twitter and mentioned that it will allow Instagram users to automatically transfer their followers and user information straight to the new app. Cox threw shade at Elon Musk's Twitter by claiming Meta's been hearing from creators and public figures who are interested in having a platform that is sanely run. Now, what is sanely run? Now, Instagram, either copies. It's true. I believe Instagram literally likes to look at the top companies out there and completely copy them. And, from the looks of it, I think they might be successful here. So far, they've been really, really successful. We actually have a glimpse of what this application might actually look like. Can we bring that up as well? It's a link on Verge website. Now, this is what Instagram's upcoming Twitter competitor looks like. Meta is talking to celebrities like Oprah and Dalai Lama about being early users. We've been hearing from creators and public figures who are interested in having a platform that is sanely run, a top exec told employees. Now, I keep on hearing this term, sanely run. Who is saying this and what do they mean? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's, not to state the obvious, but it's a subliminal jab at the way things have been operating on the competitor side for the last little bit. I think it also has to do with encompassing a little bit of what we talked about a few weeks ago, Humane, and like integrating AI into it and letting people make conscious decisions. So I think it's a combination of both things, but obviously it has stemmed into what we know now as Mark versus Elon.
Actually, looking at the application kind of looks cool. It looks a lot more simpler than Twitter. Can we zoom up on that image there? It looks like a screenshot of a screenshot. All right, so it kind of looks like Instagram, but just
cleaner.
Just cleaner and captions, and then you can either like it. It looks like you can comment on it and repost it, or whatever they're gonna call it, retweet it or
rethread it,
share it. Yeah,
rethread it.
Interesting concept, and the only benefit to this app that I see over here is that it's the ability to transfer Instagram followers to Thread apps, similar to what happened when Facebook acquired Instagram. So that definitely looks like a lot of people would be willing to adapt to something new like this, and it's probably going to create a lot of new users. Right. I personally don't use Twitter too much. Do you guys use Twitter?
No.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people actually use Twitter compared to Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat and stuff like that. But this might be a new version where people might be willing to adapt to something like this. Now, There's a lot of interesting news that came out recently about this cage match, Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg. Now, everything seems like it stems from here, but if we go back to that same tweet, somebody proposed an interesting question here. Let's see what they had to say. So we have a user by the name of KW Markov at AOL.com. Now that's old. All right. Better be careful, Elon Musk. I heard he does jiu-jitsu now. And then you got Elon Musk that replied, I'm up for a cage match if he is. LOL. Now, obviously, we know that, Elon Musk has a lot of humor. And he likes to make things fun and funny. And he doesn't take things too seriously. But then you see Mark Zuckerberg, the guy that's usually quiet, the guy that doesn't like to do this type of stuff. He screenshots this article here or this tweet and reposts it on his Instagram. Mind you, he doesn't go back on Twitter. He uses his own platform. Yeah. And he says, send me location. That's what it sounded like to me when I read it. Send me location. And I've seen videos of, Mark Zuckerberg fighting with the likes of Lex Friedman. I see a lot of videos with him. I know he's been on Joe Rogan recently as well, speaking about his desire of, improving in the martial arts world. So he definitely knows a thing or two. As opposed to Elon Musk, he's probably going to use some sort of AI or some shit, to just like hack your mind and just, he doesn't have to do anything. He's going to automate that process, and shortly after, what's his name? Elon Musk, or Mark Zuckerberg, posted that response on Instagram. Elon Musk is like, what did he say? Vegas Octagon. So he's confirming that he really, really wants to get this done. Now I have a fun question to ask you guys. If this was truly to happen, who's winning this fight?
Could go either way. If I had to take a wild guess, I'd probably say Elon would take it. He's got a wilder side to him than Mark's the quieter leader. I would probably bet on Elon.
Samir?
I mean, is this an actual fight or is it more symbolic?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna get into if this should actually happen, but who's gonna win? If you had to bet on this, who are you putting your money on?
For sure, he's much bigger.
No, but have you seen videos of Mark Zuckerberg? This guy's a beast, man. This guy knows how to fight.
No, he got a white belt on some.
No, bro, you gotta watch videos. Can we put up a video of Mark Zuckerberg fighting? This is interesting. You guys gotta check this out. He's actually pretty freaking good.
Is he?
Yeah.
This is not a promo video for Mark Zuckerberg.
You always do this. This is like the new thing. Every time I'm like endorsing somebody, or it sounds like I'm endorsing somebody, you're just like, are you sure you're not endorsing them? This is not a promo video? No, it's not. All right, let's see this. Any sound on this?
I don't know where the audio is. Let me just turn it up. See if this. Maybe now.
Anyways, that's fine.
Yeah, there's no audio for some reason.
Okay, no problem. But yeah, look at this guy. He's pretty solid. Boom, boom, jab. And I used to do Muay Thai back in the day. And this is not an easy sport, It's very cardio intensive, and everything's all about technique here. And you could just see this guy's going in. He's already made his money. He's a billionaire. He's like, I'm just gonna fight now, man.
I got my money on Mark. I'm not gonna lie.
Mark seems like a solid bet.
Yeah.
You know what? But they brought up this question about, they want a company that is sanely run. Yeah. And my question is like, are they implying that Elon Musk does not know how to run his companies in a sanely manner, as per se? Yeah, we could take this off. Now, I look at how both of them run their companies, and I kind of look at like Mark Zuckerberg is like a train on a track. He's kind of like organized. Everything's going one way. Everything's clean. He stops when he has to. Everybody knows he's gonna stop ahead of time, and then he continues moving. Yeah. And I feel like Elon Musk, on the other hand, runs his company kind of like the Batmobile driving on ice. You just don't know where this guy's gonna go, but he's gonna destroy shit. So it's very interesting. What do you guys think?
I think it's a battle of introvert versus extrovert as well.
Absolutely. Good point.
Big difference in the confidence level. Obviously, I mean, we're not discounting that they're both amazing individuals. They've bought a lot to the community as a whole. But if you want to really take it to the next level, in the last, I would say, few years, if you compare them apples to apples, I think Elon has done more and continues to push that balance. So I think at best, like, his confidence really does a lot for him, and that's why a lot of people follow what he does and what he has to say.
Yeah, as far as Elon Musk is concerned, I think he's a class of, he's just you can't compare anybody to this guy. He does his own thing. He plays by his own rules. He doesn't back down. He's a risk taker. He's an innovator, and I wouldn't really say that about Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg is what he does is he just buys what's already there and makes it his own, and he just has so much money that he can promote it and make it bigger. And I think, why did Elon Musk even get into the Twitter game? He didn't need to. It's not like he needs the money. I think Elon was trying to make a point. I mean, he put his money where his mouth is, and I think that's something that Mark Zuckerberg has never done, and he's never going to do, because that's not the kind of person he is. And Elon Musk is and his likes, people like him are the kind of people we need to lead this generation, to create innovation, to show that you can take risks, and if you really believe in an idea and you believe in what you're doing, it is going to work in the end. And these are qualities that we need. We need as individuals, and we need to show our young people that this is what leadership is all about. So, for me, Elon Musk is just a winner.
Yeah, I would say I still want to give credit to Mark Zuckerberg. They're both great visionaries. They've created big companies that completely changed the world. I would just say that, Elon Musk is more of like an inventor, and you have somebody like Mark Zuckerberg, who is an innovator. They look at things and they see how they can make things better. Like, for example, with Instagram, Instagram was nothing compared to what it is right now, obviously, when they originally purchased it, and they purchased it for, I think, around $1 billion.
Yeah.
Right now it's worth, I don't even know, like an insanely large number. Yeah. And, they completely revamped the whole social media page. They added a bunch of other new things, such as reels, stories, the capability of adding video. Previously, it was just purely photos. So they made a lot of changes, and, Instagram is the number one used social media platform. So you got to give them credit there at the very least. And obviously Facebook is still relevant till this day. Yeah. The fact that you're able to stay relevant shows you a lot. Look at MySpace. I mean, they only survived for about 3 to 5 years or something like that. And then after that, it just went downhill. So that's my opinion. I think both of them have, their pros and cons. I'm an Elon Musk guy personally, but I respect both.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say here, at least, is Elon, what I also appreciate is he's a little bit more transparent. Even he might not be right all the time, but he has a more open door policy in terms of the way he's thinking or what he's about to do or where his head's at. You think about Mark, or you think about like Google and these companies. I've seen them going head to head with Congress, like trying to make their points known, but they won't say, like, they couldn't answer a simple question as, are you tracking people through your apps or through your services? They wouldn't give a straight answer. Whereas I feel like when Elon would find himself in a similar situation, his answers will be a little bit more direct, and like he's ready to take on the world.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Yeah, I mean, the Twitter files is a big example of what you're talking about. Yeah. I mean, fully transparent.
Well, that's why he took it over initially, right?
Yeah, so that's my point, is that Elon didn't have to do what he did. Yeah. And the fact that Mark Zuckerberg has this, animosity towards Elon Musk is not understandable, because I think it just comes down to the question of control.
Yep. Yeah. And I feel like this is getting a little bit off topic in terms of, this is getting a little bit more on the political side of things. Obviously, there was always going to be two sides, and, you're either going to love or hate Mark, or you're either going to love and hate Elon Musk.
Time will tell what happens.
Time will tell, and it is what it is. And we're going to continue moving to another very interesting subject. Samir, you could take over.
One last question. When is the
Sure.
showdown? When is it happening? Is it
Oh,
happening in Vegas? Because I heard.
let's talk a little bit about the cage match then. All right. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go on to new journey, and we're going to paint a picture out of our words on what this match will potentially look like. Should we do that?
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah, so, speaking about tech giants, there's a lot of word out there that India's economic future is looking bright.
Yeah.
Samir, can you elaborate a little bit about that?
We're
India.
talking about, this presentation is about India and why there's so much interest in India, and I think rightfully so.
Yeah, just so I want to briefly speak about India. I was there in 2018, and man, that country is loud. The food is amazing. Very rich in culture. Love the people. And did you know South India and North India are two completely different countries?
Mm-hmm.
Literally, they look different, they sound different, their food is different. Man, the whole shebang. What is this? She's cute.
Her name is Palki Sharma.
Jet engines, and this is very significant. Second on the list is the drone deal. We've been telling you about this for days now. It's official. India will buy 31 drones from the United States. The drones will be assembled in India. Deal number 3 is semiconductors. There are investments to assemble and test chips in India, also to set up research and training centers. Deal number 4 is space collaboration. India has joined the Artemis Accords. As part of this, India and the US will undertake a joint mission in 2024. This will be at the International Space Station. And finally, deal number 5, the decision to settle 6 trade disputes at the WTO, or the World Trade Organization. A lot of this would have been unthinkable a few decades ago, but now it is being done.
I believe investing in India, the idea of investing in India, especially in the technology sector, has been a conversation for about a decade now. Now, clearly, India is fully capable of implementing a strategy like this. Now, I would ask, does India have these 3 factors? Do they have a growing market cap, number 1? Do they have the population to sustain it? And number 3, do they have the talent to do so? Now, it seems like they check all of the boxes, and I definitely see that there's going to be a lot of big companies out there that are going to want to invest into India.
I think it's a big move for a lot of companies to want to invest in that on that side of the world. India being like now one of the bigger economies, it's a really good move, not just from a strategic standpoint, but from a profitability standpoint as well, because we're not just talking about India as a country where these investments are being made. India can become the hub for all of the countries in the Middle East that will then benefit from, obviously, these investments.
It's kind of a win-win situation for India. As far as what's going on right now is, you just notice what's happening with the drones and with jet fighters. What's happening is it's called technology transfer, and this is something that India has been hoping for a very long time, and this is why I believe Modi came. Modi came because, like he said, this is the time. So what he meant by this is the time is that India is ready for the world. India's got the infrastructure, India's got the population, India's got the buying power, and India's got the technology. So India's ready for the world, and this is why I believe Modi came to the U.S. To show the world that India and America are now on the same footing. This is even more than before. This is the first time in history that they've come so close to working in such. They're working together to bring about technological change, to bring about economical change, and to really help people both in America as well as in the U.S. So what they're doing is they're working diligently to bring down a lot of the restrictions that we've had for so long. They want to make it easy for companies, the big companies like Google's and even smaller companies. They want them to invest in India, so they want to bring down those barriers.
And what are some of the companies that are actually investing into India right now?
The companies that are investing into India are Amazon. I think they're about $26 billion.
26 billion over the span of
Up to
5 to 6 years, up
20
until 2030. Right?
2030, yeah.
That's a lot of money.
2030.
Good for them. Yeah.
Then you have Google. They're
Yeah.
also investing, I think, about $10 billion.
Nice.
You have, I think you were mentioning
Apple.
Apple.
Well, Apple, even Elon Musk,
Elon Musk,
he's trying to bring in, the
Elon.
whole
Yeah.
the electric world,
Yeah.
electric vehicle world into India, which is very, very exciting for the country. And there's a quote that he recently said about India, which is India has more promises than any other large country in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He has a desire to invest his money in a country such as India, and I think it's a fascinating journey for this country to go through, and we'll definitely see what happens. Do you
Yeah.
guys have anything else to add?
The only thing I'll add is I think it's really good to see, as Samir said, just being a consumer, from transforming from a consumer to being on the other side as someone who can give back, right? So they're definitely following the law of reciprocity here, where it's a give and take relationship as opposed to what can I get. So I think in the long run, there will be a lot of others that will follow suit in terms of, hey, what can I learn from this business model that exists between two countries in this case, and how can we expand it to more people? And the more people that you have under that umbrella, like it just, it improves lives.
Of course.
Well, the point is, let's wait and see. I mean, it's all moving in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely exciting stuff coming from India. Let's keep it moving for today, folks. We have an exciting game to play today, and it's not your typical tech trivia. Today we're going to be playing Name That Sound. So Akshay is going to be playing some sounds for us. We don't know what these sounds are going to be. Now, they're going to be tech related. Now, I'm going to give you a brief description on what kind of sounds you might hear. Hopefully, you didn't choose one of these ones, but I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to try to think of something that's Akshay probably didn't think of. For example, okay, we turn on the MacBook sound. You know the MacBook sound when you originally turn it on? So you might play a sound like that, and then you're going to have to name it. You're going to be like, that's MacBook, Or it might be something like you typing on a keyboard. We're going to have to say, typing on a keyboard. So it's anything tech related. So it can be brand related or somebody actually using the device. Okay. So let's see where this goes. I believe we have about 10 questions. And we're going to write down our answers on the whiteboard. So let's bring out our best friends, Mr. Whiteboard. Thank you.
Thank you, Samir. I don't.
Oh, where does pen go? Somebody actually took the pen today, I remember.
Okay, let me grab it. I'll be right back.
You know where it is?
I have no idea, but I'll look for it.
Okay.
in the cubbies?
Worst case scenario, I can always just.
Mother is always taking our pens.
Thank you so much. It's right there.
Can you grab it?
Close the door, bro.
Thank God it's not live.
All right,
ready,
let's
man?
continue. I am ready. Let's do this.
Some things might be a bit before your time, some things might be a bit after your time. So let's see.
Yeah, can we get a time check? What are we running at right now?
We're running at 1 hour and 4 minutes.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this.
All right, you guys ready for the first sound?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. All right, it's gonna play now.
Oh, I know that. Damn. Can we do that again?
It's still playing. I can do that again, yeah. It's gonna play now.
Oh man, I know that. You heard this? You heard this?
that one too.
Damn.
This is the first one. This is the easiest one, guys. So
Really?
yeah, this is the easiest one. It's gonna get harder from here.
Are we supposed to know this one?
Yeah, you're supposed to know this one. It's a very iconic. It sounds familiar to you, right?
Yeah.
I'll play it one more time.
Okay. That's definitely very hard though. That's not obvious to me. Nobody. It's not obvious to anybody. But
I've heard it before.
I'm just gonna say it because I really don't know.
Bro, it's obvious to me. If I heard it, I would know.
Well, are you a gamer?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
probably because
yeah,
none of us here are gamers, my friend.
I know,
but,
I know.
but that's why I'm gonna choose this. All right. Do we have answers? Just write something down. I have something. I'm taking a guess at it, and
Change mine.
because he was so confident, and I'm playing the mind game here. He was so confident in the answer. I'm like, it has to be gaming. So I'm taking a guess on this one. All right. Are we ready?
One at a time.
One at a time.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Michael, you go first.
I said PS1.
Okay.
I would say Xbox.
Okay.
I said PS5.
You guys were all wrong. It's the Wii startup sound.
Bro, I don't know shit about
I should have
Wii.
known that.
Come on, bro.
I should have known that.
Bro.
Yeah, now it's coming.
Okay.
It's coming back to me now.
Guys,
yeah.
we're in the tech business. We got to know this stuff.
All right. This one you guys got to know. If you guys don't know this one,
Okay.
you guys are not true tech fans.
Okay, let's go. All right.
Let me replay that a little bit better for you guys. Play that one more time.
Yep, I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Omar, you want to go first?
Sure. Windows.
Okay.
Michael, what do you got?
I got MacBook startup.
Mac,
Okay.
Apple, Mac.
Two of you were right. Omar, you were wrong. I'm sorry.
He's
That
clearly
proves that
not
I don't use a MacBook.
Yeah, he's clearly not a MacBook.
Omar, you got to get a MacBook, bro. Windows. Really?
Windows. 'Cause I know it's a computer. I just don't know which one.
Sad. Sorry.
Oh,
That one I don't know.
Cracker Barrel
Snoop
right there.
Dogg.
All right. You guys ready?
Yeah. I know that. I heard that one.
Do it again?
I'll have to play it one more time.
I know that last part. Yeah, that's definitely it. Okay, got
Alright.
this one.
I have no idea.
All right.
It's a little bit after your time, so
After my time?
yeah, after your time, yeah.
I think it has to do with gaming.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a
All right,
gamer.
who's going first?
Samir, go first.
PS5.
So you keep on saying PS5. All right,
What do you
Omar.
I got PS1.
Okay,
I'm also at PS5.
bro, it's Xbox 360.
Bro,
How do you guys not know Xbox 360? At
Hey.
least Michael and Omar.
hey, just further confirmation. Clearly, we are not gamers here. Clearly.
All right,
All
the
right.
next sounds are not going to be game. Those are all the gaming sounds.
Game Boy probably next.
Oh, actually, there is one more gaming sound, but let's.
Was that a
Okay.
PS5?
Yeah, let's try not to ask gaming questions. We clearly don't know shit about
You'll
that
know. Okay, well, this one's not gaming, but you'll know this one.
stuff. Zelda.
This is a little bit hard, man. This one's hard.
Is this gaming?
No,
Done.
no, not gaming. This
Ah.
is.
Again?
I think you might have it. Yeah, he might have it.
It sounds like an ice cream truck or something.
Samir, you
One more time,
cannot
one more
get this
time.
wrong.
One more time.
Okay, I think I know.
All right, let's see Omar's answer first.
I have no
It's
idea.
the Nokia startup screen.
Yep.
Nokia, I got it.
Yep.
I did not know.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought about it for a second. I'm like, that kind of sounds familiar. I just envision myself playing Snake on a phone here, listening to that sound. Remember Snake?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy I got that right. So at least we got something.
All right, the next one is pulling up now.
Okay.
Get ready, guys. I'll say this one's a gaming one. I'll say that. But you know this gaming one, Michael, very well. I'll give you that.
Or me. Would I know it?
No.
Do that again. Okay. This is the only one that I would probably know. I think.
You guys ready?
I am.
All right, Michael, you go
Are
first.
you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
Alright,
go
Mike, go
first.
go
I
first.
chose Game Boy.
You're correct. Game Boy is the right
Nintendo.
answer.
Nintendo.
Well, yeah, Nintendo Game Boy. You guys are kind of in the same.
Well, which Nintendo? There's Nintendo Wii. There's Nintendo 64. I chose the Game Boy.
So Michael got it right. Yeah.
All right. We'll give it to you, Michael.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Now this is actually Medina. She sent me this one. So
Oh, shout out to my sister Medina.
this is a really hard one, guys. She gave me a hard one here.
Okay, I got
Do that again.
Done.
Sounds like a notification.
It is a notification.
Yeah. Okay, I think I know. I'm taking a huge guess on this one, but it sounds familiar.
So you guys ready?
Yep.
Let me pause this. Okay. Omar, you go first.
It's the BlackBerry BBM Messenger.
Okay. Well,
What'd you get?
don't say it's correct until everybody answers.
Okay. What'd you
Alright.
get though?
I wrote MSN. I mean,
MSN.
MSN Messenger.
I wrote iPhone.
I wrote PS5. So BlackBerry BBM, yeah. Yeah, you know what? I was never,
Bro.
part of the-
Omar's on it with the old phones, like the Nokia and the
Yeah,
BlackBerry.
yeah.
He knows them.
Yeah, but I was never. I was always on the dark side. I was never on the dark side. per
Dark
se.
side.
You know, they
The
always
dark
said
side.
join the dark side with BBM and BlackBerry. You know, I think I had one BlackBerry, which was all right.
This one is really hard, guys. So we got
Oh.
3 more. These are going to be the hardest ones.
Okay,
All right.
let's do it. One more time. That does sound familiar. Okay. One more time.
You should know this one, Pops.
I'm gonna take a guess at this
I
one.
should?
Yeah, you should.
One more time.
One more time. Okay. Sorry, here one sec. Why is it not loading?
This can be so many things.
Here.
I see something in my head. I don't think it's right, but I think it's gonna be a no-brainer when we actually hear it. Do we all have something?
I have something.
You have something, Pops? No?
PS5.
PS5.
Okay.
All right, who's
I'll
going first?
go first.
Okay.
I chose VHS.
That's actually a good answer. That's
Yeah.
actually a really good answer.
I got CD player disk drive.
Okay. Good. Another good answer. What do you got?
I didn't have anything.
PS5.
Just give a guess. VHS. What do you think?
A toaster.
Could be the gramophone?
No. All right. I'll tell you what, guys, what it is. It is the Walkman, the Sony
Yeah, yeah.
Walkman.
So I knew
The Walkman?
that's what I implied by VHS. I'm like, I knew it was gonna be some sort
Exactly,
of tape, some
yeah.
sort of tape recorder, because it sounds like you're either inserting it like this, because essentially they both sound very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got 2 more.
Okay, let's go.
This one's also very hard.
Okay.
Michael, you right away.
What is it? What is
I'll play it one more time.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my god, that's actually so funny.
That's it.
Yeah,
Michael got it right away.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Am I supposed to know this one?
Yeah. You're
Okay.
supposed to know
Okay.
this
So
one.
I'm right.
Play it one more time.
I highly doubt you. It's nearly impossible to know this unless
Yeah.
you know what.
It's a hard one. Yeah.
So does something to do with editing or something?
No.
Nope.
I'm not giving any more hints.
Take a guess, man. Take a guess.
No idea.
I'll play it one more time.
They're not gonna know it.
I know, but
You guys are gonna have to take a guess. PS5.
Just take a guess. Just take a guess.
PS5. PS1.
Okay. What do we got?
Okay. What do you get?
All right,
I
let's
want to see what you got.
I got Tesla indicator.
Ooh, you got it. Nice. Good for him. How did you get that,
Yo,
man?
that's great.
You just have to think
I
about
had
it.
to
Huh?
think about
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So when I heard that, I automatically knew what it was because I hear that sound every single day in my vehicle. Because I own a Tesla, and oh man, that's such an annoying sound, by the way. But you hear that every single time when you first start the car. It's like, it's like make the switch in a signal or switch gears or whatever, right? So it's kind of just implying you got to make your move.
All right, we got one more. This is the last one, guys.
Okay.
This is the ad. This ad.
It's how the Harpers turn downtime into together time. And this is not just any loyalty program. It's one made for them. Because with Triangle Rewards, you get personalized offers.
Triangle Rewards.
Download the Triangle app today.
Okay. What do we got?
All right, ready?
Yeah. You're gonna have to play that again. This is a hard one.
Yeah, this is the last one. It's the hardest one.
Is it possible for us to know this?
Yes.
That last drop at the end sounds very familiar.
I'll play it one more time.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the last time I'm playing. Now you guys got to guess.
Oh. Okay. I think one more time, just in case.
One more time, okay.
Last one. Last one.
Last one, okay.
I know I heard that sound before somewhere. I'm gonna take a guess.
All right. Does everyone have their answer?
Yep.
All right. Who's starting? Who wants to go?
Mike.
I chose Amazon Prime Video.
Omar, what you got?
I got Skype.
Okay.
I got Windows.
Windows. Okay. You guys were all wrong. It was Samsung Galaxy S1 startup.
Samir, you should know this.
This was yours.
It's not the S2, it's S1, guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You should have played the S2.
The S2. No, if you got the S2 is when they change it to their iconic opening lock screen. So back like in the new Samsungs now, they use the same startup as the S2.
Nice,
The
nice.
S1 was different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. I would definitely do that again. And it was a pleasure to record our fifth podcast together?
Podcast.
Fifth podcast.
Fifth
5 in a
podcast.
row. It's been a lot of fun. I feel like it's getting better and better every single time. I'm just getting excited every single week, just getting prepared for a podcast and looking forward to the next episode. And if you guys are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that like button. And don't forget to hit that comment button. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. Hit them all. Hit them all. Thank you. We love you. And that's it, folks. Let's call it a day.